Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Davis, and you're watching Conversations in Pop Culture. And yes, I am scandalous like an Ashley. And I do want to remind everybody that this episode is brought to you by my friends over at Pocket Jack Comics, and they are coming to local comic stores near you in March/April. And right now, you can check out copies of the sexy comic Guinevere and the Divinity Factory and Palace of the Golden Princess at PocketJackComics.com. And if you sign up for their email list, you can get a free PDF copy in your email, so you can actually try it before you buy it. And all I got to say is I've seen some of the covers, and they are spicy. They're very spicy, and it's going to be awesome when they come into comic shops because I know that I'm getting a few. And so I got that going. So go support my friends over there, as well as go support my friends on Kickstarter with another Kickstarter, which is Living Dead Girl, which is Jason Connolly and Greg Watson's project. And Greg Watson, for those who know, hasn't designed a character in almost 20 years. And this is his first time in 20 years designing a character. So it is a big deal, and it's very cool. But enough about that, because I have with me returning guest Bella Madisyn. So welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'm excited. Obviously, I like having you on, and you got a lot of stuff going on. You
Yes.
got LFC. You got some other media stuff going on. You got some superheroes that is a little spicy going on. And
Love
some other stuff too,
superheroes.
some modeling. So why don't you kind of catch us up on who you are before we talk about some of this stuff for those who don't know you and just are like, who's this pretty woman in front of me on
You.
this show? How did
Well,
Andrew pull it off? Is the question.
well, I am Bella Madisyn, now known as the Goddess of Chaos. So, of course, I switched from the Rebel Princess because princesses are lame now, apparently. So, yeah, I wanted to be a goddess, not queen, not princess, goddess. Um, I've been helping out with LFC a lot. So I actually run the division in Florida, which is the Booty Camp Developmental League. We actually have a show coming up on Saturday, LFC 39 at Secrets Hideaway, which is a swingers resort, which is great lifestyle. It's going to be fun. It's going to be like the event's going to be amazing. That's February 24th, 2024 at 8 p.m. So everybody, if you want to meet us or you want to meet me or whoever, we're in Florida. We're taking over Florida, guys. I do a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, I do a lot. I like to play characters. I like to make up my own characters, hence Goddess of Chaos, because she's chaotic, and she was chaotic in LFC 38.
So let's actually talk about some of this, because obviously LFC has come a very long way.
Yes.
You know, obviously I think I came in around number 27, and that was what, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Give or take. And obviously they've gotten to a bunch of different people. There's been some mainstays. There's been people who've come in and out. And that company and that promotion has evolved a lot between the prospects and your fighting and what you're doing. And so what is this like for you to be in a interesting role where I think they still have Vegas, but then they're now doing this stuff in Florida? And it's kind of, I guess, I don't want to say, it's kind of like the G League, right? In basketball to some degree, where this is the NXT of LFC.
This is when we get to try. That's when we get to try out the new prospects. But the veterans are also allowed to come down and fight as well. So yeah, it's like we've been wanting it in Florida for the longest time, so we finally have it in Florida. Thank you, Sean. And then, of course, he appointed me.
So what is that like, though? Because obviously that is responsibility, understanding talent, and you know, you don't want to destroy a newcomer, but you also want to make sure they're ready for this and being in the ring or being in the octagon or whatever you're fighting in around the mat. And what is that like? And also, you kind of have to be on the lookout for scouting people too. And so what is that like for you? Because obviously it is a responsibility.
It's a lot of work. Putting together an event, because the event LFC 39, I'm the one who put it together. It's a lot. It's more work than I thought it was. But luckily for me, I have a very good trainer in Tampa, Chris Silvio, who is
I know him very well.
Yes, NWA. So he's a pro wrestler. So he's been teaching a lot of the ground and pound. He's been teaching a lot of the pro wrestling, the MMA, the striking. He's like, I have a jackpot right there. Chris Silvio
He's
is
great.
freaking amazing.
He introduced me to one of his good friends, Paradise.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen them perform Romeo and Juliet in OVW?
No.
Oh, you don't know. You haven't lived. You haven't lived until you
I
have
have to
seen
see
him.
it.
You got to remind him. You just got to bring it up to him. And
Okay.
it's one of those things because it sounds weird when you say it, but when you see it, you're like, this is brilliant. This is
Oh wow. Yeah,
brilliant.
he's amazing. He's a very amazing performer, trainer. The LFC girls, so that is our trainer of LFC for Orlando, is Death Proof Dojo, which is owned by Chris Silvio. I started training with him a little while back. He helped me develop my character, Goddess of Doom / Chaos. We kind of ran with it. So after that, I was deciding that I wanted to change my name from Rebel Princess. But he's a very good trainer, very good producer, very good. He's like a man of many talents. Yeah, I'm happy to have him in my corner and on my team. Yes.
So let's actually talk about that because LFC, and I say it the nicest way I could say it. I'm not going to offend some people. People hear the word lingerie fighting championship, and then it creates it's a cat fight, and there's not wrestling, it's not athletic, and it does narrow the scope a little bit. But obviously, in an LFC fight, there is boxing, there is MMA, there is grappling, there is athleticism. And what
Yes.
is that like? Because I understand that there is some marketing behind that, and I think if we were to dismiss that immediately, that would be very, I guess, false. But there's also a lot of athleticism as well.
Yes, there definitely is.
Badass.
Lingerie is catchy. Come on. Lingerie is catchy. That's like seeing a girl do boxing in a swimsuit. It's catchy. And if you really think about it, all the girls across the board in some way are dressed sexy in all types of wrestling. MMA, maybe not as much, but they still are in shorts and sports bra. But in wrestling, they're all in some kind of sexy attire. So I think we throw it for a loop because it's pretty much like one of those things. Of course, we have to be different. So we say lingerie. So everybody's, oh my God, they're fighting in lingerie. This isn't real. And we actually are. It really, it hurts, guys. We are really being athletes and we really do train for this too. It's the same thing. We have the skills too. Some of the girls are boxers, MMA fighters, judo, slap. They do slap championships. Like, yeah, there's a lot that goes to it, but lingerie, I think, gets everybody in a spook because you say lingerie, so everybody's like, oh my God, here they come out in pasties and crap like that. So I'm just like, yeah, it's really not that bad, guys. I promise. It's pretty much the same thing that everybody else wears. We all got on booty shorts and short, low cut tops, and we all fight.
So many things I could say. So many things I could say. And I probably will say half of them on this entire interview, which I'm more than happy to admit. But the reason why I bring it up is that obviously I find LFC to be a brand. And I am watching LFC because I definitely like pretty women. I like watching fighting and I like watching wrestling. And to me, it's just hitting all that stuff. And then I crack open a beer and I'm relatively happy on my Saturday night. And I think, and I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong with that.
No.
And I watch wrestling too on Monday nights. Sometimes, I won't have a beer on a Monday, but, I sit back, I relax, I take a breather, and I think it makes sense. And why not,
Right. I agree. Why not? Same thing.
But I definitely want to actually kind of go into this a little bit more as well, where obviously being down in Florida attracts, I feel, certain talent where there's a lot of pretty girls in Florida and there's a lot of talented people and a lot of people have left the northern states to come to the nice free state of Florida. At some point I might be migrating myself down there.
It's nice. Right now it's cold. I mean, let me take that back right now. I was like, it's kind of chilly right now, but but it is nice. The overall vibe of Florida is really nice. I mean, once you get here, it's like one of those things you won't want to leave. I actually love it here.
Yeah, and also Miami's becoming a tech center to some degree. And so what is that like too? Because obviously I think you left New York and I think you left like the East Coast and up north and you've obviously come down into
Well,
and
I visit New York a lot, but I didn't live in New York. I lived in Ohio, and then after that, I lived in Virginia Beach for a little bit.
I love
I'm
Virginia.
originally from the West Coast, though, California. But I have been over on this side for a little while. I just felt like I was getting too old. The cold, the snow, not my scene anymore. That's why I get mad when it's cold here. If it's like 50s, I go insane. Like, yeah, nah, we can't do. I'd be like, Florida, you're slacking. We can't do this. Like, no, I don't like the cold. I like the heat. So I'm ready for it to warm up a little bit now, but it's like 60s, 70s. And so it does get warm. It's starting to get warm again.
That's amazing. I've always been an East Coast boy,
Yeah,
and
you'll like it over here. You'll
I,
like it here.
I do like it. I do like being near New York City. I love being down in DC. I can tell you that.
You like the cold though?
DC wasn't that bad.
Oh,
DC
okay.
wasn't bad.
So that's
Connecticut
not that
is.
bad.
DC is
Mm.
nice. It's like 65 degrees in October in DC. It's
Oh, that's not
nice.
bad. Okay, that's not bad, but it still gets snow, right?
Yeah, we have a snow day.
Exactly. That's
No,
the
see,
issue.
see, see, as a New York boy, this is what's great. Is a half an inch is nothing to me. And then DC shuts down and everybody goes to the movies because they declare a snow day the day before. Everybody goes to the movies, everybody goes to the bars, and it's like a party on a Tuesday. It's
Oh
fantastic.
gosh.
It's amazing. It's like
Yeah, that is crazy.
it's so surreal and it's so weird. And I don't think people realize that it is amazing. It is amazing. But I digress. But what is this like too? Because obviously, just getting to even face and train and see new talent. Because you talk about kind of being a little too old. I mean, I would imagine as a trainer and as somebody who's running a lot of this, that it must be kind of exciting for you that, oh snap, these prop and new kids are coming in and I'm getting to
You'll be
see.
surprised. There's a lot of them that are my age too. Yeah, we are not done yet. We are still doing these things like these little young whippersnappers. We're still out here busting asses and shit like that. So yeah. We're just as strong. Yeah, but no, it's a tough industry. It hurts. You feel like you've been ran over by a truck some days after training. You'll go in there like, oh yay. Then you wake up like, oh gosh, there's this pain in my neck and in my shoulders. And then over here we take some hits to the ground. It's not always a pretty sight. It is very physical. Sometimes the ring beats you up. So I mean, yeah, it's a lot. And then being the behind the scenes, you get to learn a lot more with the recruiting and the things that everybody has to go through. I get to see both sides of what the behind the scene people get to go through and both sides of what the fighters get to go through because I'm a fighter and I'm behind the scenes now.
So let's talk about that because this is interesting, right? So I'm a strong believer that you should understand every aspect of your business,
I
or
agree.
as humanly possible. So I have packed up comics, I have begged and board comics, and I sell comics in my business. And I understand how comics are made. I understand how storyboards are written. I understand to some degree how a printer works. I understand how shipping out 10,000 comics looks like. Not
Right.
necessarily
See,
to that
and it's
degree.
the same with photography too. In the model, I have done makeup artist, I've done wardrobe stylist, I've done photography, and I've been a model. So of course, I understand what the model goes through, but I also understand the side of what the photographer goes through, the f-stop and the different shooting in manual, shooting not in manual, the editing. Like after the model's done, the process is still going. Like it's like one of those things you get to actually see both sides of. Even with wrestling, you get to see both sides of what is going on. Because like yeah, I mean, even for the fighters, it's a lie. It's hard on your body. It can be
And
very hard on your body.
because the reason why I bring this up is that now that you're running a show and you're kind of putting it together, I would imagine you have a very different appreciation for what everybody else has done before you. And that doesn't mean that you needed to have that different
Right.
appreciation now. But once you see what's out of the box or in the box, you can't unsee it. And so
Yeah, no. It's a
and
lot.
yeah, so
It's a lot. Um, It's a whole lot. Like I see everything that Sean goes through, and this is just the beginning for me. I'm still new at the job. I'm still learning and things of that nature. I mean, yeah, I got my first event started, like, so that's cool. I'm happy about that. I got an event in the box with secrets, so that's cool. Thanks to Max Styles. It's just like it is a lot behind the scenes, like when you have to train and then you have to be in the background making sure everything's going the way that it needs to go. Like, oh, everybody has to be at training here, everybody's got to be here, everybody's got to be right here. Oh, of these girls on the list, no, there's not, or like even with that, there's sometimes I'll be trying to ask Sean to handle something, he'll be like, oh, but it's going to be better for you to do it, so you go say, oh, great. Great. No, but I mean, it has taught me a lot. It is not an easy job, and he wears a lot of different hats. He wears tons.
Because I mean, in my business, and obviously I do this, I run an eBay business, I have a 9 to 5 job, and I can tell when I am pushed over.
Yeah.
And people, are like, hey, why are you not on whatnot? And I'm like, do you not understand that I'm
Right.
working a 40-hour work week? I'm doing 3 to 5 hours of interviewing. I'm editing that stuff. I would like to go to bed at a
Yeah.
reasonable time, like 3 in the morning. Like, guys, and no, I go to bed at like 12 every night, and I don't think people
Yeah.
realize that when you're doing everything yourself, or even if you hire people, it's still a huge amount of work. But
Yes.
I wouldn't trade it, but I also say, like, I don't think people understand what it means to run a business.
It's
I
a lot of
don't.
work.
And I don't think people understand the stresses that come with it, and even what you address, and how crazy it is. And
Yeah.
when things fall on you and they fall on you,
Yeah. And then you're in the hot seat. So everything goes wrong, and then it's like, oh, everybody go to Bella. Where's Bella? No, Bella's not existing right now. I don't know where she went. I'm kidding. No. I try my best to be there as much as I can. And if I don't get to a call, I will get back to it. I promise. So yeah, on top of that, running my office in Fort Lauderdale and things of that nature, and being a mother. And holding down my household. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It never ends.
yeah. So let's actually even go further into LFC, because obviously you had some fights.
Yeah.
So I think you just had one against Riley for the
Yes.
first round. And what was that like? Because I don't know Riley as I should know Riley.
Right.
And so, I mean, I know the second fighter, but I'm purposely punting the second fighter for a second. So what was that like to do double
Riley
duty?
is really sweet. Riley, I was introduced to Riley probably last year. Me and her got paired up together. So I pretty much showed her around. She hung with me just to kind of, get to know each other and things of that nature. She's a really sweet girl. I really enjoy like her company. We text on a regular basis. It's like one of those things. We both love cats. Just to look out for her and make sure she's good and things of that nature. I really enjoyed Riley's personality. I can't wait to see her career in the LFC go even further. She's a really good performer. She's a sweetheart too. So I mean, she cracks me up. We laugh during a lot of our stuff. We laugh through everything. We laugh. And then the heat is bad for her. She doesn't like the heat. So we got to keep Riley out of the heat. But she was happy about the cold in Vegas at the fight. So I was like, okay, now I'm freezing. So it's now your turn to take care of me. She's a sweetheart.
Let's actually, so obviously that fight took place. And then that was on live stream pay-per-view. And that was in Vegas.
Yes.
And then you had the Katie Forbes fight right after. And I love Katie Forbes. I would love.
Me too.
I think Katie Forbes is special in a lot of ways. I think her career and impact. I think the problem is that they didn't know how to use her.
Yeah.
And I think they didn't know how to use RVD. And
right.
I think they tried, and I just think they didn't have a spot on the roster.
Yeah.
That happens in life. It's not a talent issue, and it's not a wrestler. Sometimes a roster just doesn't have a spot for somebody. But I digress. But What is that like to face Katie Forbes? Because
I mean,
Katie
Katie could
Forbes,
go anywhere though. Like, really? Like, I mean, who I would try to make space for Katie Forbes. Like Katie Forbes she's just an amazing talent all around. I mean, she's beautiful too. And then like, yes, I got to go against the twerk queen. Like she just like and she's a sweetheart, like down to earth, real life down to earth. So yeah, she's very talented at what she does. She knows what she's doing. Very talented, very talented. I think I've met her husband once, but I didn't really get to meet him like that. But even as a duo, I'm pretty sure they do amazing. They do amazing as a duo.
no, I love RVD. I think
Yeah.
RVD. I love RVD. I think RVD. I think WWE did him wrong. Given everything, I mean, if you
I haven't got to meet him, but like his wrestling when he does wrestle, like he's amazing in the wrestling ring. Yes, that's why I don't understand. Like I feel like they could go. I feel like those two as a duo could go anywhere and just kill it.
I mean, they broke Impact. They broke Impact Wrestling on Twitch, and then they had to put that warning in there.
Warning. I know.
I mean, that really crossed the line, and it was funny, and it was great. It was great television, and it was great for ratings and everything. But
Yes.
they definitely crossed the line. I mean, they went pretty far. And I thought it was hilarious, though. And
Yeah,
those are good days.
Yeah, they're really good talent. I think they're really good talent.
But obviously, what was that like having two fights in a night though? Because obviously, I don't think you necessarily want to have two fights, but you don't say no to fighting Katie Forbes.
No, you don't. I wanted to fight Katie Forbes. Yes, it was amazing.
Forbes.
Yeah, who doesn't want to fight Katie Forbes? The twerk queen herself? Heck yeah, like yeah. I mean, two fights in a night is a lot. It was tiring. It was indeed tiring. But when the adrenaline is going, you don't even think about it. It was over both fights were over so fast. It seemed like it's like as you're going through, even when I'm doing all 3 rounds, it just goes fast. It goes way faster than you think it would go. It's just like, oh my gosh, is it gonna slow down? It goes just like that. You don't even think about it. And then your body hurts the next day and you're like, oh yeah, I was fighting yesterday. I fought twice. And I fell on glass with Katie.
Oof. So you didn't Jack Perry at it then. Yeah.
It's all good.
Just that whole thing at AEW. It just blows my mind. There's a lot of stuff that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Cookie Monster Punk is something else. He's always Cookie Monster to me, guys. He's always Cookie Monster to me. But I digress. I digress right there. And then obviously I think this, 38. It was 38, I believe, right?
Yeah, the last one was 38.
There's some cosplay in there too.
Yes, it was a cosplay show. So we had quite a few. We had Harley Quinn. We had Poison Ivy. We had what was the girl's name? Chung-Li and Barbie. That was awesome. I love their costumes. Chung-Li and Barbie's costumes were amazing.
So what is that like to do that? Because obviously cosplay is a lot of fun.
Yo, cosplay is fun because you get to be somebody else and be another character. Who doesn't like to dress up as a action figure or a freaking anime character? It's very fun. It's a lot of fun. You get to be something else, somebody else, and it's your own little dream world. That's what I like.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And then obviously you have 39 coming up, and that's in Florida, I think.
Yes.
And so what is that like? Because obviously 39 events. I think you're kind of running it in many ways. It's a lot of prospects. I think some of the veterans are going to be down there too.
Yes.
And what is that like to just be like, hey, I'm in the hot seat, and we got the new talent, we got the old talent, and we're going to have a very interesting event. And are you going up against Elimination Chamber, or is Elimination Chamber in the because that's in Australia, and so that's interesting too, right?
Yeah, we don't do an elimination chamber. Usually we do 3 minute, 3 rounds.
I was speaking about the pay-per-view because I think Elimination Chamber is like
Oh, okay, got it.
it's a very interesting wrestling weekend right now.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. A lot of wrestling going on.
And so what is that like for you though? Because my theory, and I'm curious what you think, is that when there is an abundance of wrestling shows going on, it typically benefits all of those shows. Even if
Yes.
they're all not watched at the same time, I think anytime wrestling is in high demand, it's a good thing for the industry.
Yeah, it definitely is. If it's in high demand, it makes it lucrative and fun to watch for everybody. So everybody wants to see what's all out there and see the new talent that's coming out, the new moves that are being done, the new promotions that are out. So there's a lot of wrestling going on everywhere. Wrestling, I think, is one of those things that never dies. It never gets old. So, and I know our wrestling event is about to be amazing. We have a lot of new prospects, a lot of veterans. The card itself is amazing. So we have a lot of good talent on the card for this upcoming show. So everybody has to see it. It's going to be amazing.
So let me ask you about building a card because I'm a strong believer, and I try to do this with my interview show. Is I try to put like-minded people that can work well with each other, not
Right.
directly, but like if I know that an interview is an action, they have an action comic, I might want to put two action comics next to each other that could help each other out as far as views. So if
Yeah,
I know,
pretty much the same thing as with that. Two athletes together for views, or two like people who do, for instance, a certain type of fighting. For instance, we have Mila Romanoff, we have Mia Annabella. Both do customs, both do session wrestling and things of that nature. I think Mila also does face sitting and things of that. But imagine those two girls going toe to toe. Two hot girls, like, yeah, going toe to toe. And then we have Paris Love and Gia Love, love against love. So we all know Gia's Queen Gia. She's Dom and things of that nature. Paris is the Barbie type, but still she's badass. She doesn't play. Yeah, they already had some beef on social media that I was seeing, so I'm liking that. We got Tracy Nix versus Katie Forbes. Both come from a very strong wrestling background. There's just like there's a lot going on. There's a lot going
do
on.
you also feel when you're building a card and booking that if somebody is brand new, you want to put them with a veteran to some degree? Because or do you feel that in LFC, a lot of these people come from a lot of different backgrounds, so that might not necessarily apply because I mean, in WWE, sometimes that happens in AEW and in certain wrestling promotions. If you're
Right.
new, they might put you with a veteran or somebody who is 3 or 4 years in. And I think
Yeah.
it's interesting because obviously LFC is a different beast because you get
Right.
talent from people who do custom wrestling and do set
Mm-hmm.
wrestling. You get people who have athletic backgrounds that never were wrestling, but I forget. I think you guys have a boxer in there who
Yeah,
had
Holly Dunaway.
yeah. So all of a sudden she doesn't need to know how to fight, and
She
so
already knows how to. So you just put her up with another athlete. She knows how to fight. So pretty much the aspect of fighting, she gets it already. So you could put her up with another athlete. They just train on whatever is going to go on. Like she trains in her corner, the other person trains in their corner, and you just put it together and then you just go. You just got to make sure, like even with a veteran, you could put a veteran and a newbie together. And sometimes that does work, but sometimes two athletes together also works as well. So I mean, it just depends. It makes it easier because you can definitely lead a newbie. But even with that, like a lot of people come with skill sets already too. A lot of them have come with skill sets, and even if they don't, they get trained. They do get trained over here.
it's interesting. It's interesting, and then obviously there's a bunch of other stuff going on, and then even backing out of this because LFC, I think also people forget is it is a media company. It is
Yes.
not necessarily a wrestling company. It is a media company. You guys do a bunch of stuff. You got some
Yeah.
reality stuff going on. You got some modeling stuff going on. Obviously, you got a lot of other promotion stuff. You got behind the scenes stuff. I don't know if you have a pure like interview type show, but you got a lot of stuff out there.
We have a lot.
And so what is that like? Because obviously when somebody comes into LFC, there is that also in play as far as cool, it's not just what we do in the ring anymore.
Yeah, we do a lot. Like, and to get touched further on that one, that would be Sean's place to take over in the interview because he's going to know a lot more about a lot of that than I do right now. I know about the TV series and the things like that and the different things like that because we have a new show coming up called Goddess Among Us. Pretty much the search for the most beautiful girl in the world, and the girl who gets picked wins 100K. So, and then that launches on the same day as the show. So right after the show is the launch party and an after party for Goddess Among Us at Secrets. So yeah, it's a lot. We have a lot going on. Secrets has been awesome. Working with them has been amazing. The venue is beautiful. It's just gonna be, that show's gonna be definitely one of those is gonna be talked about. It's gonna be talked about. That one's gonna be in the cards for, like Max said. Yeah, he said we're about to shut it down. Just simple as that. People are going to talk about Orlando's show, The Secrets, LFC for a while to come because that show is about to go crazy. That show's going to go crazy. And then the after party after, not just the show, but the after party afterwards too. Like, yeah, it's about to go down. We're about to bring the heat. They finally got us here in Orlando.
There's been some interesting after parties in places. I mean, you performed in a gentleman's club. Is a good way to put it. Yes. I think you said that the area you're in is a swingers lifestyle place.
Swingers club. Yes, it's a lifestyle club.
I don't know anything about that, and I will politely plead the fifth because I don't know anything about that lifestyle. I know
it's
about
pretty open-minded. It's fun. There's a lot of different fun. It's just something different. And then for the crowd, which we have all different types of people that come to the events to, it's not just one type of, it's open-minded. It's an open-minded environment.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying I don't know anything about that.
It's okay.
For me to even touch on it would be so off base.
Yes.
Off base.
We do not have to.
Hey.
Only thing I'm promoting is the fact that Secrets presents LFC 39, Goddess Among Us, and it is at Secrets in Kissimmee at 8 p.m. Yes, February 24th, this Saturday coming up. So yeah, by the pool too. The wrestling ring is going to be by the pool.
Oh boy, I wonder what's going to happen there.
I know. I hope nobody falls in. That would suck.
So many things I could say. There's this wrestling promotion called Camp Leapfrog.
It
was on like it was, the whole thing was, it was like cinematic wrestling, and all the wrestlers were like campers, and there was a few counselors, and then like matches ended in the pool. Matches ended in like the kitchen.
Oh gosh.
It was great. The whole thing was great. And the way the guy who described it said, basically it's the type of thing that you could light up a joint and just chill out and just
wow,
to sleep. And it was brilliant. The whole show and how it was shot, and they did like 4 or 5 of them. Brilliant, because it was just one of those things where it was just so cool. And I love shows like that. I love shows like that just do things that just put you to sleep, where you could have a drink, you could sip your drink, and you're just gonna just chill out. And unfortunately, Scandal hit, but that's life. But all good things must come to an end.
Yes.
But I do want to back out of LFC, and I do want to talk about some other stuff that you do, because obviously you don't just do LFC. You also do some modeling. You obviously do some media stuff and some other things going on. So what is that like too? Because obviously LFC is somewhat of a lightning rod, but you're in a bunch of other spaces too.
I know. I'm everywhere. Yeah, my main thing that I do, I actually do own a business. It's a spa. So of course the everyday ins and outs of that is a lot. Modeling, of course, a lot of different modeling, gaming, and things of that nature. which I need to stream a little bit more. But after everything calms down, after I have a little bit of time, after everything calms down, after this next big show, I'll be able to go ahead. But I think I'm going ahead and switching platforms to TikTok when it comes to streaming because TikTok is fun. They listen to me. Everybody listens to me anyways because I make them listen to me. But I'm kidding.
Nobody listens to me, and then I'm right, and then I'm like, guys, I told you what to do, and you didn't do it. And then I'm right, and then I'm like, where are we at? And I'm like, see my stock portfolio, guys? You could have just listened, and you could have copied me, and now all my stock portfolio tips are behind a paywall. So you could have had it for free. You could have had it for free, everybody, but you blew it.
They blew it.
I decided to build a wall around my advice. But anyway, not my vices, though those are out freely roaming. But anyway, what is this like though? Because obviously when you are on, I forget the stream name with action figures and your skimpies.
Multiverse. Super multiverse.
What is that like? Because obviously LFC helps, the modeling helps, but then you're on that, and then everything is kind of collectively gearing you towards a particular, I guess, greater social media presence.
Yes.
And I think it's interesting because obviously I do this show because it helps my eBay business. And then my eBay business helps this show in a lot of ways where this is a marketing arm. And it is a very cheap, low bar marketing arm. But when you have an interview that does 9,000 plays, that's a funnel to get you in. And then once the interview's done and the advertisement's there, indefinitely, I don't have to re-advertise.
Right.
And so I think it's very interesting because I think some people get it and I think some people don't.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Everything leads to, at the end of the day, with every goal leads to something, a bigger picture later on in life. Right now, a lot of it is geared up towards the athletic field for me and then the beauty field as well. Because of course I'm into athletics, but I'm also into fitness and beauty as well. So yeah, a lot of it has to do with that. And I just like entertaining people sometimes. I don't know why, because I just, for some reason, when you are streaming and it's like sometimes your real people, your real friends and your family, they'll listen to you, but not like your supporters will. Your supporters will just sit there and endure, just sit there and let you talk them to death. They'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, as we're gaming and everything like that. It's just like, I just like entertaining. And I like to tell people what to do. So it's kind of fun.
My supporters don't listen to me, but my friends do. And they will follow me to the end of the earth. Because they know.
My supporters follow me to the end of the earth. I say, okay, guys, let me lead you to doom. Okay. We're going to doom.
My supporters should follow me to the end of the earth because
They should.
I'll explain.
They need to. You guys need to follow him to the end of the earth. I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all gonna miss something.
I will lead you to the promised land. I promise. And I can't tell you where that land is, but we will find One Piece together.
Yes.
So many jokes I can make while wearing a Pokemon shirt.
Yay! We love Pokemon.
A trainer. I couldn't cut it out as a trainer, so I became a pirate.
Okay. Okay.
Naruto was a little too flashy for me to be a ninja.
Oh God.
I'm on a One Piece kick right now.
And
it's so good. It's just so good.
Yeah, is that what you're watching right now?
I'm not even watching. I'm reading it.
You're reading it. Oh, reading is even better because it has more to it to the reading.
I mean, the anime is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. The anime is great. It's just there's too much. There's too much. Where if you're 1,100 episodes in, we are too far gone. But I could read 10 chapters in an hour of One Piece.
Okay. Right. That's true.
And it's just a matter that you have to pick and choose. And I'm not missing much by only reading the manga. So, it's just that, and it's also dirt cheap. It's $3 a month to read.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's great. It's $36 a year. It's fantastic. They don't pay me to say that. I think it's arguably the best manga app right now.
Okay.
Best paid one, I should say. There's plenty of free stuff. And if you want to do that and do it illegally, you didn't hear from me. But no, I get it. I've stolen plenty of things.
You didn't hear it from me.
I'm sure. I mean, I just had Cherry DeVry on and Savannah Fox on, and we were speaking about this issue about content stealing. It is a very complicated issue right now. And I don't have the answer. Most people don't steal my content. There's only been 2 people who have stolen my content, and one of them knows you know one of them, and he was apologetic a little bit, but I was cool with it.
Wow.
I mean, it's not a secret. Tommy Bell, somebody cut up a clip, and then it was on Tommy Bell's thing, and I was like the first part of that, and I didn't get credit the first round, and I was like, oh, no worries, I don't care. It's like a 15-second clip. Boy, what do I care? It's not hurting me. It's not taking any food out of my mouth.
Yeah.
But somebody took 40 minutes of this interview and put it on their YouTube channel, I would be upset.
Right.
And so obviously you do a lot of content, and I think it's a little bit different with modeling to some degree, where if somebody takes a photo off the internet and it's just on their hard drive, that's a little bit different than if somebody took that photo and then printed 1,500 of them and sold them at a con.
Right.
But that's content stealing.
Right.
And in certain sectors, that's a real problem right now.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
I don't have the answer for it. I have a answer, but nobody likes my answer. I like cryptocurrencies and I like NFTs, and I think they're the answer, partially for that problem. I actually think NFTs are brilliant, but neither here nor there. I'm a crypto guy. It's fine. You're all wrong. Because I told everybody to buy Bitcoin at 12K. Again, nobody listens.
Nobody listens.
Bitcoin's at 51,000. You would have made a lot of money. But nobody listens.
Yeah, if they didn't that's bad if they didn't listen, because now it's like, whoop, told you so.
I told everybody to buy Immutable X too. Nobody listened. And then I told a bunch of people to buy Cosmos and /Atom. Nobody listened. And they had a pretty big airdrop just recently. So it's okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. In all honesty, though, I have to get ready to go to the airport because I have to pick up I have a lot of running to do with LFC this weekend.
Fair enough. So where could people find you, bother you, hit you up, disturb you, all that fun stuff?
Oh, disturb me? Well, now there's 967. I'm kidding. No. On Instagram, you can find me at Glam Barbell Bombshell. TikTok, B Glam Madisyn. Now my Twitter, or X, like they call it, I still have Glam Gamer Bitch, but it's not working. So I have a new one. It's B Glam Madisyn. So those are where you can find me at, and I hope to be on the show again soon. This is just a very crazy week.
Well, I'm going to quickly promote myself. Obviously, Pop Anime Comics on Twitter, Pop Anime Comics on Instagram, Pop Anime Comics on Facebook, Pop Anime Comics on TikTok, Pop Anime Comics Collectibles on eBay, which is right here. It's in the description down below. So please, if you're looking for comics and collectibles, come shop with us on eBay. We don't bite. And I have cool books like this in my store. Yes, I am a Swiftie. I have sometimes cars that can't be seen. I didn't see anything. Did you see anything? I didn't see anything. And I also pull in full print runs of holofoils like this book. So I have all 15 of these books, and I have all 15 of these books in my store right now. And I have some others on the way. So obviously I do buy out print runs. So if you want really cool comics, that's kind of what I do. And then I have a bunch of other stuff too. I got a bunch of cards and other things as well. So that's everything that I got going on. And if I didn't mention already, YouTube is a big deal for me. So please go subscribe on YouTube at Pop Anime Comics. And anything Pop Anime Comics is typically mine. And I appreciate interacting with people. And you can hit me up and shoot me messages. And I don't bite, but I do bark. And I will say this, and I will say it once, and again, and again, and again, in every single interview. I cannot promise you'll get smarter by listening to me, but I can assure you that you will be entertained. So that's all I can say, and I appreciate everybody and all that stuff, and I'm going to give you the final word.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for having me. And I want to make sure you guys know, go follow Secrets Hideaway on Instagram, guys, and LFC Fights LFC on Instagram as well. And make sure you guys check out the event this weekend. We're putting a lot together, and you guys are really gonna like it. It airs soon. It's not airing live this time, but it will air soon. So yes, if you're not in the building, be on the lookout for it. It's gonna be a great show. Thank you for having me, Mr. Andrew, the Investor Davis.
Yeah, anytime, anytime. And I don't think I could have said that any better myself, everybody. And that is a wrap.